चलो. So cyclone will actually happen usually over the equatorial region, equator. आपको एक इक्वेटर और सी वाटर ये दोनों आना चाहिए. Cyclone never happens on land. A cyclone may have its impact on land, but the cyclone will never happen on land, right? Cyclone will always happen on the equatorial region, which are very very hot. Tropical climate. Tropic जानते हैं ना? तो इक्वेटर में और ज्यादा गर्मी होता है, ट्रॉपिक से भी ज्यादा गर्मी, and there should be sea water. So what happens? Cyclone is actually a heavy storm. A heavy storm. So first storm formation has to take place. How does storm formation happen? That you by now you know that the sea water gets heated. As the sea water gets heated, air above it rises up and therefore creates a region of low pressure. Air from the region nearby comes at very high speeds. If there is too much of air going up, then too much of air will be coming up. And whenever the air goes up, the air which is warm air which is going up, it picks moisture along with it. And as it goes up, it cools down and the moistures condense in the form of clouds. And these rushing, what you call the nearby cold air which is coming, they'll also come, get heated. Now they start brushing with the clouds and make the clouds charge, as a result of which storm clouds are created. So cyclone में actually क्या होता है? In cyclone, there you will have a, this is say sea, right? So on sea we will have hot air. So we will have hot air. And what will happen with hot air? This hot air will rise up. Sorry. Hot air. This hot air will rise up. As the hot air rises up, it creates what? Low pressure zone. Right? There will be a low pressure zone. So what will happen? Nearby air will be coming in. Okay, so cold air will start to come from nearby region. And as the cold air comes, the breeze is created. Now this heating is much more than normal. Extra heating होना शुरू हो जाता है. This keeps on rising, and as they rise, they will be picking up moisture, right? And this moisture will go up, and this will condense. And as this condenses, this will form what is known as cloud. But it forms cloud again. Hot, this cold air which has come in, the cold air again gets heated. It will again rise up. So as a result of which, what happens? That there is a huge amount of cold air and a large amount of storm that has been created. A storm has been created, as well as storm clouds will also be created, right? Here the rotation of the earth will play a role now, right? So all this storm, are you understanding? Cyclone is actually, if you look at cyclone depends on temperature. Cyclone will depend on wind speed, and then cyclone will depend on humidity, right? These are the factors on which cyclone will be depending on. On in equators, the humidity will be very high, low pressure will be created, cold air will rush, and the cold air also goes up, storm clouds gets created, and then the rotation of the earth. This rotation, what it will do, abhi samjho is cheez ko, a lot of clouds, heavy clouds have formed, and a lot of air is going on, and the earth's rotation starts rotating this cloud. Are you understanding? So it's something like you take a batter of dosa and you start rotating it. What do you see? You will see a tunnel formation happening, and the tunnel zone will not have any batter. Whenever we rotate something, have you seen? वो खाली हो जाएगा. What explosion इसको बोलते हैं? So the earth's rotation starts to give it a spinning motion, and the central zone is actually a tunnel. And this tunnel is a tunnel of absolutely low pressure. This is a tunnel of low pressure. ठीक है? Clear समझ में आया? First hot air rises up, cold air will take its place, hot air will create what? Clouds. This is normal formation. But here, too much of hot air and the storm has started to pick up, and this will happen always on sea. As a result of which, the rotation of the earth now creates a force in which these clouds now start to move. And the height that it will reach can go up to 10 to 15 kilometers तक का height में उड़ जाएगा. This clouds. Understood? And it will start moving. And when it moves, this entire diameter will be around 30 to 40 kilometers का diameter ले लेगा. entire diameter will be 30 to 40. So now understand, there is a cloud, there is a storm, and the storm has started to whirl. And the whirling speed is how much? The whirling, that will be whirling at a very high speed with a diameter of around 30 to 40 kilometer. बहुत बड़ा हो गया है, 30 to 40. And then this central part is also known as the eye of the cyclone. The eye of the cyclone is actually the low pressure zone. हाँ, ऊपर से देखने से आपको ऐसा घूमता हुआ चीज दिखाई देगा. Now this entire thing starts moving. So let us say the Indian map. Okay, now this is Bombay, and let's say we have Bay of Bengal out here. So suppose there is a cyclone which has been created at this zone. Understood? This cyclone will now start moving. There is no threat as long as the cyclone doesn't come into a coastal area. As the cyclone comes into a coastal area, the devastation effect will be started to, you'll feel it. And what is the devastation? First of all, there will be huge amount of storm, huge amount of rain will take place, and the storm winds will be so catastrophic that they will uproot poles, they will uproot, वो समझ में आ गया ना, रूफ कैसे आपके रूफ सूट जाते हैं, सब उड़ेंगे. प्लस एक और चीज खराब होगा, दैट इज ये जो हाइट आपका रेज हो गया है ना, द टनल इज एक्चुअली अ टनल ऑफ लो प्रेशर. सो इफ द प्रेशर इज लो, द वाटर विल एक्चुअली, एयर प्रेशर कम हो गया है ना, द वाटर स्टार्ट्स टू राइज अप, and the water will also lash the banks, creating maximum havoc. One is wind, high speed winds, so you have a storm effect. Then there will be torrential rainfall will go on. Plus what will happen? There will be high speed winds. These winds will be actually creating a lot of havoc, and the water will also start splashing on the coastal area. So earlier days, cyclone used to bring maximum damage. Now by satellite photography and all satellite radar techniques, we can anticipate when a cyclone will come. Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt. So, in which direction does the cyclone come?
In which direction? It depends upon the wind velocity. It may be clockwise, it may be anti-clockwise. It depends upon how the cyclone is moving, considering that time what is Earth's rotation, how much the Earth is tilted, what is the moon's position near to the Earth, so that the forces of gravity will be felt and the cyclone will start moving. The eye is a low pressure zone. How big? It will be also some kilometers. That's a low pressure zone. That much water will splash up. See, there is a pressure on the sea. Air pressure is there on the sea. That's why the water is at this level. When this pressure reduces, the water will bounce up. Right? So at the coastal area, first I will have a storm. Storm means I will have winds. These both will create havoc. Then I will have rain. Then I will have water lashing also. 3 damages will take place. That's why nowadays cyclones can be predicted almost 48 hours before. So in India we have this team NDRF, अगर आपने नाम सुना है, National Disaster Rescue Force. So this National Disaster Rescue Force will immediately come into all these coastal areas, start evacuating people. In the year 2020, I don't know how many of you know, there was a cyclone called Amphan. Amphan had hit West Bengal and had damaged it very badly, and also Orissa some part, but maximum damage was felt at that time in West Bengal. But the good part of a cyclone is, as soon as a cyclone starts entering a land area, अगर वो यहाँ पे रह जाता है ना, तो वो डैमेज बहुत करेगा. Once it gets inside land, the cyclone cools down. Why? Because in land, this sort of heating will not take place. So the cyclone recedes very quickly. Cyclones have got different name. In America, cyclone is called a hurricane. In Japan, it is called a typhoon. Okay, so typhoon, cyclone, hurricanes are the same thing. The thing is, there will be an eye of a cyclone. What is the eye of a cyclone? The eye of a cyclone is the vortex from where that particular world will be created, and is the zone of the low pressure. And as the cyclone starts building up, it will gain a height, vertical height. And as the wind starts rotating, the storm cloud starts rotating, it will create a tunnel of low pressure. That tunnel of low pressure will create the water to bounce up. And the cyclone then itself, after formation, will start moving.
This tornado also
One type of same things. If you have seen like some haunted movies where they will show a lot of bats moving together, all bats will be combining together and moving in a circular motion. The cyclone is also like that. Once it has formed, it will then start moving. So the cyclone will change its position. and once it comes into any coastal area, which it will come, it will impact. Question is, if it cools down by the time it comes here, impact will be less. But if the cyclone formation itself has taken place here, tab to gyo. And once it comes to the land side, during cyclone weather, like if you are in Visakhapatnam, you will feel cyclone weather, not cyclone, but like low pressure. We have stayed, so we know, like low pressure weather we feel a lot. Whenever low pressures will be created, okay. So whenever low pressures will be created, the first difference that we will see is there will be rainfall. The rainfall will be absolutely continuous rainfall. Cyclonic, suppose there is a cyclone which is say 100-120 kilometers away from you, you will also feel the effect. The rainfall will be very continuous. It won't be like torrential rain, it will not be slow rain. It is a rain in which you won't be able to go out. Whole day it's raining. That causes floods also. Floods are not caused by like in Mumbai, what is happening right now? Low pressure belt has been created, Mumbai, Pune. So it's a continuous rain. Once continuous rain happens, then waterlogging will start building up. But if it lashes for 1 or 2 hours, then that's not that good. ठीक है? समझ में आया? Our next chapter that we will get inside will be particle nature of matter. Na? What is the name? Particle nature of matter. Yeah, that will be the chapter we'll get in. But let's first do some maths on this. ठीक है? So cyclone is closed. We come back to